Hi, this is Tung. I apologize that I have to pre-record because it is midnight in Taiwan now and the Wi-Fi connection is usually unstable at this hour. So I have to confess that I did not hear the presentations and the following discussions are based on the PPTs of the first three papers only. And also, since I'm the second discussant, my questions may sound irrelevant or redundant. Anyway, let me share with you some thoughts on these four excellent papers. The first paper is on Canada. In slide 5, the authors asked how this imbalance between age groups and provinces is explained: public transfers, labor income, or others. I'd like to ask another question: that does migration also have a role here, or is it not a problem at all? Well, migration can be a self-selection process with a vicious circle, starting from low wages and or biased welfare program. The young or the skilled may leave, resulting in faster population aging, lower wages, larger fiscal deficits, which will then cause more outmigration. I wonder what the authors think. The second question is, while we are looking at the problems of Quebec, what will be the policy implication to Canadian Federation, who also bear the consequences? On the second paper, I also have two questions. The first question is a definition question, that there are four types of income mentioned, but two are not defined. On page 8, there is the net real income. So what is the real? Is it PPP adjusted? And on page 10, there is the total net income. Is it tax included? My real question is, which of the four incomes are more relevant, or are they equally important? Page 11, I noticed that the total net income of the 60 plus group changed by 7% in both Estonia and Slovenia. In Estonia, it is due to higher employment and higher social benefit among the unemployed. But how to think about Slovenia when all these ratios are small? So what then are the implications for this study? Then the question on the third paper, I have two questions about the 1960 data. The first is, can you tell us a little more on how you plan to estimate asset reallocation and private transfers, given that there is no or little microdata? The second question is, the real values of labor income and consumption in 1960 look small, and their age profiles, according to the presentation, are flat. So does flat here imply equality across age groups, or simply a reflection of data restriction? Also, if these age profiles are normalized, will they look less flat? I will show you the Taiwan case in a moment. Finally, on the last paper, there is an assumption or a hypothesis that a higher economic life cycle deficit suggests less possible transfer of resources to dependents. So while this hypothesis sounds plausible, to be more complete in the analysis, shall we also consider asset income, which is another way to finance LCD? Second, as LCD is a residual, hence can fluctuate a lot, what about using consumption or labor income instead or in addition to LCD? Finally, I have a question of my own. How to compare 2 years? This follows from my presentation in Intergenerational Economy 1 session on the first day of the conference, but it is relevant to Spain, Mexico, and many other countries. On the left is the per capita labor income of Taiwan in 1951 in blue, 1981 in orange, and 2016 in gray. And these shapes look quite normal. In the middle is the labor income expressed in 2016 value. Now, 1951, the blue one, is hardly visible. This is because the real GDP per capita has risen 37 times between 51 and 2016. And on the right is a more dramatic presentation. When labor income is normalized by GDP per capita of each year, then 51, the blue line, rises up to the top. This, of course, has to do with the labor income share in GDP. But my question is, or my problem is, to trace the labor income of a specific cohort, I have to shift from curve to curve with very different values against the rapid economic changes. So what is the right way to discount or to normalize? I would appreciate very much if people can share some of their thoughts on this. Thank you.